of Architecture, Mumbai. We are very delighted to host this event at this iconic Bombay Art Society, Mumbai. I would like to also take this opportunity to welcome a very senior professor who is here with us in the audience, Professor Y.D. Pitkar. Welcome, sir. Thank you for your time. We are also very grateful to Vishal Trading Company, Incredible India, Intact Greater Mumbai Chapter, Temple Connect, Council of Architecture, and the Indian Institute of Architects for being the supporting organizations for this event. Deoolkathan is the culmination of 8 years of dedicated effort by our students who have documented 5 remarkable temples located in the Konkan region. Through their work, they have uncovered the rich architectural details, historical significance, and the cultural essence of these sacred spaces, preserving their stories for generations to come. The exhibition highlights the beauty and significance of temple architecture, not just as structures, but as living symbols of our cultural and spiritual heritage. Alongside the exhibition, we are excited to present a few talks, followed by a thought provoking panel discussion featuring renowned experts who will delve into the themes of cultural values, heritage preservation, innovation, and sustainability in temple architecture. Thank you all once again for being here to celebrate the vibrant legacy of the Konkan temples and support the incredible work of our students. We hope that today's experience inspires and engages all of us. To begin this wonderful journey, I would like to invite architect Vineet Mirkar, Principal ISCOA, to welcome and address the audience.
Thank you, Balaji. On our temple documentation from cultural perspective and your expertise. Thank you, Shripad. These are the kind of additions we have to carry out nowadays. I welcome Pitkar sir. Thank you. He's always a support. And he makes sure that this age also, he encourages and inspires us to do these kind of endeavors. Gauri sir, thank you very much to pushing us up to this kind of events, making sure that we do this at the best and make sure that the IES is flying high. For this Deoolkathan, I just wanted to narrate a small story, how actually, what happens behind this, why it happened. So maybe some of the students are new. We have started the journey 8 years back. It is actually my personal agony which has actually started this spark of documentation, this temple. I was always fascinated. I've been from Konkan, Ratnagiri, hails from Ratnagiri, visits my native every year, twice, participate in the festivals there, and from childhood. So it's a very good emotional connect. And we have our Gramo Daivat, Navala Devi, which is there, and I have been associated with that for so many years. One fine day, the temple committee decides to renovate that because there is a termite infestation which has happened into that, and they feel that that is a turning point where I need to rejuvenate the temple. They had also contacted me then because I was an architect from the village. I had given some suggestions, but the aspirations of the people there want to ape lots of things which is happening in around place. So what happened that they converted the whole timber temple into a RCC temple with marble cladding of white marble, green marble, Jaisalmer stone, and everything else. And that has hit me very greatly because I was cherishing those memories at all points of time, and suddenly that has changed. It has taken a whole lot of money. They've asked for grants, donations from everybody. It has completed, but it is not now. I am not able to relate that, and that has created that if this kind of temples are existing in Konkan, if they get vanished in similar manner, then there is no heritage to looked upon. There is nothing which we can talk about of this kind of thing to our newer generation like this. We are sitting here. So at that time, I decided that we should be doing this documentation. I proposed that to Gauri sir then. He said definitely we should go ahead with that, and then we started this documentation spree, and we started that first documentation, which was in Konkan, Ratnagiri, which was Deoolkathan. So it was very peculiar temples, which I said that it is not here, but just to give that start point, there's 5 temples of Shiva belonging to different community, built differently with different styles within the same village, and that uniqueness has also provoked to actually continue this expedition. Vivek had then joined the architecture teaching and taking a first year, and we did that documentation. It was which was unexpectedly people have participated and enjoyed that, and we could relate all these syllabi with construction materials, ecology, and other humanities aspects also with that. So what happens that we went ahead, and this what you see is the journey. So also another point which we felt, because architecture education has to give a 360-degree exposure to all the students here. Many times the aspirations is also to create a glass blocks. That is how the people come in the generation, and they forget their roots. And to make sure that the awareness happens to these people, we decided that we do that documentation kind of exercise in the first year itself, so that they will they will start connecting to their roots in some manner. The Konkan people will relate, but definitely the other people from other parts also will start feeling that there is something for me in the my kind of villages and natives which I should be able to connect. So to make this awareness at the inception stage, we decided to do this documentation. Um the faculty associated with this was Vivek Korlekar, you have met, equally supported by Pratik Dhanmer, Payoja, Raikar, Shilpa Sharma, Ridhima Khedkar. At that time, we started this task of documentation. Uh, Most of the faculty members, I just wanted to tell also another thing, an aspect which was important, because these faculty members, I said, kind of said, including myself, I also visited that documentation visits. We were coming from this. I want to thank the NASA for that, because we came from NASA background, the competition, and we were LIKI. So all of us are LIKI, which has given us that kind of confidence and the kind of connection, this emotional connect that okay, I can do documentation, we can do this, we have done that. So it is easier for to translate that, to hone our own skills, enhance ourselves, and then translate that skills to the students. And it has worked well. I guess that is, you can see it here. We were satisfied within to do this documentation. Uh, but I should thank this current student council has thought to take this journey to the public domain. And here we are exhibiting this journey. So thank you, student council, to make sure this is happening here. I want to especially thank Professor Shilpa Chandavarkar, who pushed this idea, guided the students and the faculty to curate this wonderful exhibition. Thank you, Shilpa. She also took the initiative with Urvi, who is a research associate here. Hi, Urvi. Uh, to collate the journey into a book format, which is already ready, printed. It's coming from the oven now, which is going to be there, and into this publication. I'm to take this opportunity to thank our whole teaching and non-teaching unit who worked in their own capacity to make this exhibition happening today. So thank you very much, all the people. I want to thank our director, Gauri sir, for pushing all of us to reach here. Thank you, sir. And I would say that it was always that constant nudging, pushing, and putting everyone on the toes. No, I'm saying that that is a part and parcel of the thing. That I'm not saying, but it is that kind of push which makes us to do this and come here to do this successful exhibition for sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I also want to express my gratitude to our management who always supports such endeavors conceived by College of Architecture here. So definitely it is that support which is making us do this. And last but not least, our whole student body who tirelessly worked for the last 3 months till last night to pull this exhibition off to success. So I want to thank our industry support as mentioned by Prachi earlier, Robosoft, and other. There's a primary main support, which also I want to thank again Shilpa, without which I don't think so we should have had this kind of grand exhibition happen here. So thank you, Prachi, to allow me to express my thoughts in this inauguration ceremony. Enjoy this wonderful 4 days of engagement with Temple of Konkan. Thank you. Jai Bharat, Jai IAS.
Thank you, sir. Thank you also for sharing the story behind the inception of this documentation process. As we all know, we have Council of Architecture as one of our supporting organizations. Architect Abhay Purohit, COA president, he couldn't be here although he wanted to, but he's sending his good wishes and he's sent a small message which we would like to play for all of us.
Hello everyone, this is Professor Abhay Purohit, the President, Council of Architecture. I'm very happy to note that IAS College of Architecture is conducting a very specially curated exhibition on Deoolkathan at Bombay Art Society, Bandra. Such kind of the exhibitions are very, very important in the sense that this specific edition will be focusing on the timber structures in Konkan region, which are having the local flavor, the technology, and the material in a very typical traditional way. And hence, experience for the students, staff, architects, and even the common people. A few of activities shall be happening around, and these activities are capable of strengthening the knowledge, traditional knowledge system which our vast country has. So all the very best. I would have loved to be there, but unfortunately would not be capable of making it this time. But yes, certainly I will go through the process. Thanks.
Thank you so much for your words of encouragement. Moving on, I would now like to invite someone on stage who has been an integral part of this entire documentation process. Faculty at ISCOA, a colleague, a friend, Professor Vivek Kurlekar. I request Vivek to come to the stage and share his experience about the inception and journey of Deoolkathan.
So there is one more script. Not working. Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ganpati Bappa. Thank you. Thank you. This is for myself to boost my confidence. Slightly nervous, but more emotional. But at the same time, very, very proud of each one of you. Very proud. I was supposed to play some visuals on the screen so that people who are usually not interested in listening to lecture and talks, they can entertain themselves watching those visuals, and I can keep continuing my speech. But anyway, we can stick to this fixed image. Yeah. It gives me immense pride and joy to welcome you all this exhibition. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Suraj Pandit for gracing this event with his presence, expertise, and adding further value to our Deoolkathan exhibition. There are going to be many pauses, so these claps makes me more nervous. It's a dream come true for me. Seeing the journey of documentation transform into such a beautiful exhibition, I was not expecting this to happen. Of course, we were working on very serious project, very consistently, very rigorously since last many years. But I was not expecting that this will turn out so well, and we can present this in front of such a mixed crowd. माझी आई मला नेहमी बोलते यू हॅव अ शनी इन युअर राशी सो यू शुड स्टार्ट फास्टिंग शनिवारचा गो अँड ऑफर सर्टन तेल टू शनीला तेल ऑफर करे कर सो आय वॉज ऑलवेज ट्राईंग टू बी अरे जाऊ दे नको ना नको करूया सो दिस हॅज बीन हॅपनिंग सिन्स लास्ट मेनी इयर्स दिस इज समथिंग नॉट न्यू अँड मेनी ऑफ माय फ्रेंड ऑल्सो नो दॅट अरे don't eat non-veg on Tuesday, Saturday, Thursday. And I was like that only. अरे चल जाऊ दे काय फरक पडतोय देव थोडी एवढा छोटा आहे देव तर माफ करेल कोणाला पण but last since few years last since I guess 1 or 2 years I have been very meticulously following all these days following I'm not fasting but at least I'm following these days I'm not consciously eating non-veg on those days um, going to visiting temple was not my choice, was not my hobby, especially not I'm not talking in terms of documentation. आई बोलते बाजूला हे मंदिर आहे इथे जाऊ नये सॅटर्डे ऍटलिस्ट गो अँड डोंट विजिट ऑल द टेम्पल्स इन इन विसिनिटी बट ऍटलिस्ट शनिदेव आणि ते तेवढं तरी शनिदेवाला तरी तेल भाव नाही आय डिड नॉट did anything I could not do anything I was very not very interested in going and visiting places temples but now today I'm standing here जब बुलावा आता है तो जाना पड़ता है and this is how we have documented 5 temples 7 temples and we are presenting 5 temples here so I was not very enthusiastic about going and visiting temples which are in my neighborhood but भगवान ने बुलाया मुझे पूरा कोकण बेल्ट क्रॉस करके I extended to कर्नाटक and गोवा So I've been teaching first year since last many years. One of the subjects which I've been teaching is ABCM. We call it as an architectural building construction and material. Many of you must be knowing, including students. And we get a mixed crowd from in all the years, right from first year. Mixed crowd as in many of them belong to a rural context, some of them belong to a urban context. So the kind of notion they carry about their lifestyle, kind of notion they have about architecture and otherwise, that is something very we find at the same time it is interesting, but at the same time it's difficult for us to teach them the architecture which is so-called in blanket or bracket or standardized way of teaching. So we also have to sometimes we have to take a step back. अरे काय करता येईल let's do something, because ABCM is something that we have been facing many problems teaching on board, teaching on blackboard, teaching them theories, but there is always a gap which we found. की अरे, नाही समजते मुलांना. When we are teaching on board, they understand everything, but they commit something on the paper, then they make blunder. And it is not a problem with students, it is a problem with the methodology which we need to filter and upgrade at all given point. So we decided one fine day, I was in the meeting room with Vinith sir and Gauri sir, and in discussion and deliberation, we decided, let's do something which can bring in certain value to our college. तर काय करूया? Documentation is something which many colleges are doing, and this is not something. This documentation process is not something new for our fraternity. बहुत लोगों ने documentation किया है, right from settlements, right from wardas, right from palace, each and everything we have documented. Architects are very obsessed with making drawings, and we have also been making drawings. Now this is a certain new dimensions which we have added in last few years. I myself had no idea how to understand and how to study the narratives. कि story क्या रहता है? I never study. I never in LIT also when I was a student, there were two categories. One is someone who will work on a drawing. The other group will always work on an analysis part. I was in the drawing department, so my brain wiring, my muscle memory is designed to draw on a paper as much as possible. कुछ भी करो, drawing करो. अरे थोड़ा analysis में बंद बोला, वो नहीं मालूम अपने को. But to make this, to bring the certain kind of differentiated value to this study, we also started documenting narratives, mythologies, and history. The graphics that you see as an architecture is fabulous expression of narratives, mythology, and credit goes to exhibition team, whoever was working on a graphic. So that is how we started this process in 2018, I guess. The one of the challenge was, okay, let's do a temple documentation. That was also first time. Now I have done many documentation, so I know how to do a documentation. But how to get the documentation done from first year was a challenge for us. So in 2017 we started with Malgund, which is in Ratnagiri. We went there. We went and studied all the temples. We made a good drawings on a tracing paper, cartridge, everything. But unfortunately, we could not digitize all the drawings in AutoCAD or in Photoshop. So that is something which the process stopped on the cartridge and tracing paper only. But that was a learning lesson for us. कि अरे इसको और लेके जाना है. If we want to stay in this race, हमको अगर उसको long lasting बनाना है drawing को, then we have to at any given point it has to be documented through a digitized medium. When this documentation was going on, as I have already said, कि drawing was our core competency. कि drawing बनाना है. But when we actually went there, now one of the temple which is, if you find, there is Satare temple. Now Satare temple is the anthill that people worship. The local community, they worship the anthill. So we were wondering, अरे क्या anthill को क्या worship करना है? But after talking with people, after interacting with people, I came to know that अरे anthill मतलब is a ecology indicator. Wherever you find an anthill, wherever ant build an anthill, the soil which is present below that or around that is very fertile in nature. So मैं तो ड्राइंग वाला था, तो मुझे ये स्टोरी सुन के वाओ, आई गॉट सो ओवरवेल्म्ड, अरे मस्त है. Then next story which I came to know, very small aspect which I'm talking. There are larger narrative also, but I'm talking about the small aspect. In many of the temple, there is a pyramidal shape roof right in the center of the whole temple, which is also known as a Madhya Mandapa, not a Sabha Mandapa, Madhya Mandapa. So I was asking people, अरे ये suddenly बीच में pyramidal roof किधर है? I have seen hip roof, I have seen collar roof, I have seen many roof, but this is something which I was not have seen very frequently. So they said, as per Vastu Shastra, the pyramidal shape roof always transfer some positive energy under it. So that is the logic, that is how Vastu Shastra work. So that is why we purposely design a pyramidal roof, and all the gathering, all the meeting of the villages, जहाँ पे decision making लगता है, we conduct all those meetings under that pyramidal roof so that we can make a decision, give a decision with rational thinking and with wise logic. So those are the things which I started knowing when I started getting into uh, the narratives, mythology and history. Otherwise, as I already said, I was very stuck to architecture drawings, plan banao, section banao, elevation banao. And every year we have been doing some or the other refinement to make the documentation better over the period of time. It is not something we started with very basic pencil drawing. Of course, that is even more important. Still, you can see a digitized medium, but this digitized medium is outcome of the process that we have been following, and whatever drawings we have been doing on site has to be are always done by using hand. It is a manually done drawing with pencil, with T scale, with set square. Once we come back to the college,